Okay.
Alright, what's up everybody? The Setup Man coming at you today from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Driving a truck today, bringing you a custom setup. I am hoping I can get a 29.9 on video. I literally ran a 30.001, so I'm hoping I can get that last couple thousandths of speed out of this baby and get a 29.9 on video for you guys. I am in Race Now mode instead of in test session, just because I feel like the Race Now mode is a little bit more similar to what the online lobbies are. The online lobbies just seem like they're different than the test session. Test session, you get it dialed in, think it's all good, then you get to an online lobby and find the truck is a lot looser than it was in test session. And I feel like the Race Now mode is just a little bit better and being more similar to the online lobbies. This lap I don't think is perfect, but let's see if the stopwatch is good to me here. Got to get a fast lap down. 29.997. I'll take it. Going to go around here and talk about how I get around Texas, and then we will obviously show the setup. And I'm going to get back here to about to start finish line and then start talking about how I run Texas. Do it in, talk about the turns in order, starting with turn 1. And then we will go to the garage. 29.9, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so you gotta, I like to take a wide arc at Texas. I like about where this O'Reilly sign is, or maybe a little bit past it. That is where I want to be up near the top of the track, and I want to kind of dive it to the bottom. That's about where I'm going to start diving it. I'm going to let off the throttle a little bit. Off the throttle more in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4, and I'm probably down to, I don't know, to where I'm only 25% or 50% on the throttle. I try to get it to the bottom, and I mean I am barely off it. It is like lift or go right back down. So you're not off the throttle very long at all, and then I am just going to run along the white line. When you get to the corner exit, you're going to let it drift up. I like to let it drift up above the suggested line, like about where this O'Reilly sign is. I am clear up here usually on corner exit, because it seems like you get a better run down the straightaway if you let the car drift up when you're exiting the corner. I'm going to run down through here right up against the wall, and then again you're going to take a wide arc into 3 and 4. And somewhere about, there's these 3 Texas signs here in this green light, probably somewhere about where I'm at here, or maybe just a little bit further back, maybe back here at the second of the 3 Texas signs. The signs say Texas Motor Speedway. I'm right beside. About here is where you want to start arcing it into the corner. And as you're arcing it in, somewhere about in here, I lift ever so slightly, but I don't even think you can hear it in the audio on this that I'm lifting, but I am off just a little bit. Get down to the bottom and then kind of run the white line. Now, a key to Texas is figuring out how to get off turn 4, and I want to spend some time on this, because this is the problem spot. The problem with Texas is you're always tight off of turn 2 and loose off of turn 4. But when you are coming off of turn 4, there's a couple of things. One is as you're coming off you need to have the truck rotated. So as you're coming off of here, you need to have the truck pointed straight, basically. You're going to have the wheel turn a little bit, but you don't want to be coming out through here really having to turn things to the left. That's when it's going to get loose on you. So one is get it rotated so that when you're on corner exit, you're straightening the wheel up. You're not turning it more to the left. So that is one key. The other key is it's almost like you can see this dark pavement right beside me that looks like that's the groove. That's the one place you don't want to be. Okay? Right here, down at the bottom line, you're okay. You can run this and then let it drift out to the outside and you'll be okay. Again, as long as you've got it rotated. Or you can kind of be up here where you're on this white line or straddling this white line and you're okay. So it's almost like you got to be just above the groove or just below the groove. But if you're right here, right in this dark pavement, that's where it gets really loose. Last thing about getting around Texas is I look at this O'Reilly sign here, and that is where I let it drift out to the wall too. I am looking to be out around here when I get the O'Reilly sign, and then that is as close as I get to the wall. So that's my widest point in my arc, and then I start moving it back down away from the wall as I'm going through the dog leg. So that is how I get around Texas. Now let's go look at the setup. And here we go. Not a whole lot to say other than this is kind of indicative of how I've been building setups lately. There's nothing real radical on the bumper rebound settings. I'm pretty high up on the wedge and on the front weight, but again, those two things tighten the car up, and I've got so many other things that make it very loose that I kind of need to be higher on the front weight and wedge to balance things out. The springs are maxed out. That's pretty standard. The tire pressures, upper 50s and mid 20s. That's where you get a lot of your speed on the straightaways at these mile and a halfs by going way up on the tire pressures. Camber's nothing radical. I used to be running a real stiff front sway bar, and I had to learn how to drive a smaller sway bar because going from a 1.675 to a 1.5 or 1.585 makes the truck looser, and I was getting beat by people who ran these lower sway bars and looser setups, so I had to figure out a way to drive these things that are a little bit on the looser side. If this is too loose for your taste, I would say go up one click on that front sway bar, and it'll make a big difference. Track bars are maxed out. That's pretty standard. I've got away from running a real high grill tape. I used to run 55 or 60 on the grill tape at just about every place I went with trucks. Problem with that is that extra grill tape seems to make it a lot tighter, and not only does it make it tighter, but it seems like when you're relying so much on downforce from that extra grill tape that if you are in a draft and get right behind somebody, it'll make the truck a little bit loose because you don't have that downforce from the air. So I found that running a little lower grill tape makes the car handle turn a little better, and it makes it to where it's not so loose if you are right behind somebody. What else? Those are the highlights of this. I will add, I had two of my friends try this setup out that run controllers, and they both said it was a pretty good base setup. I'm sure they tweaked it a little bit for their own driving style, but they said it was a pretty good base setup. We ran a couple of full fuel runs with it. They seemed pretty happy with it. One of the guys raced it and finished second in his league race with it using a controller. So I think it's a pretty good setup, whether you're wheel or controller. A lot of people that run the controllers tend to run a little bit higher wheel lock than this. So if you're on a controller, you may want to try changing the wheel lock a little bit by 2 or 3 clicks, and you might be a little happier with it. But that's all I got. Hope this works for you guys. Hope you run lots of fast laps. Check it out. Give me some feedback on it. And as always, hope you guys have a great evening, and look forward to hearing what you think. Look forward to hearing from you guys on what you think of the setup.